Hi chickadees and chickadudes. Today we're going to read a book called There's a Map on My Lap, and it's all about maps. The author of this book is Tish Raby, and if you remember, this is a series of Cat in the Hat books I told you I really liked. They had a lot of science ones. Well, I found this one on maps, and I thought it would be cool because we're introducing maps in social studies. So let's take a look. There's a map on my lap. I'm the Cat in the Hat, and I'm happy to say there's a map on my lap. Let's get on our way. We will travel the world, see the whole USA, and still be back home by the end of the day. Maps are drawings that help to find out where you are and get you where you're going, no matter how far. When map makers make maps, they must first decide who will be using the map and what it needs to do. A cartographer is just a more formal name for a map maker, but both their jobs are the same. The map of the Earth that we use most of all is a globe. Like the Earth, it is round as a ball. Peel the skin off an orange and lay it out flat. A flat map of the Earth would look something like that. So longitude, these are longitude lines which run up and down, and latitude lines go around and around. So that helps pilots and map makers and people that are trying to find locations in the world. It helps them find them easily by looking at the longitude and the latitude of things. Now, if maps were the size of the places they show, map makers would run out of paper and sew. A chart called a scale makes maps easy to use, shrinking miles into inches on each map that you choose. So think about it. If we had a map of Texas and it was a real size map, it would be the size of Texas. So we can't use that. So map makers have to shrink everything smaller so that we can use it on pieces of paper or on our phone. Scale makes everything smaller and helps you and me carry the world around easily. You can make a map of far places you roam or a map called a plan of your very own home. We use this scale, 1 inch equals 3 feet. It helped us to do something we both think is neat. We drew our whole room so it fits on one sheet. So the thing 1 and thing 2 drew a map of their bedroom and they shrunk it down to 1 page. There are 4 main directions. All maps have got them. North is on top, south down at the bottom. If you look to the right, that is where east will be. Look to the left and it's west that you see. To remember all 4, here's one easy way. Never eat soggy wheat. I say never eat soggy waffles. Lots of people have ideas and ways that they remember what never eat soggy waffles or northeast, southwest is. I have here an atlas. Come on, take a look. You will find a lot of maps and they're all in one book. Sometimes maps use pictures to show where things are. A capital city is marked with a star. A tent shows a campsite. Tracks show where a train is. To get to the airport, just find where a plane is. So a chart called a legend, if you look carefully, will list and explain each picture you see. And if you think about this, if you make a connection, when we read the book on weather, there was weather maps in there, and there's also legends in weather maps that show you what is on the map, like snow and rain and sleet and all of those different types of things on a weather map. Some maps use colors to tell you a lot. I use blue where it's cold and red where it's hot. I made deserts light brown and jungles bright green. The legend will show you what these colors mean. Ooh, Miss English skipped a page. Marine charts help boaters. These maps let them know if a rock, reef, or sandbar is hiding below. When you visit a city where you've never been, a city map helps you know where to begin. Here is a map we both carry around. It shows where the subway runs under the ground. So when I go to Boston, I make a connection to this because we have to get on the train system there, and we have to have a map that tells us which stop to get off of and where we're going. And remember I took that trip and I went on the boat in the ocean? Well, guess what? We had to use maps and charts to get us to where we were going. Their maps were on a computer and it showed where the boat was going, and it had a line and you followed it through the ocean to get to the different islands. So we use maps in lots of different, every day we use a map. Topographical maps are the kind hikers like. They use them to choose which direction to hike. They show where the land rises hilly and steep or goes down into valleys, all rocky and deep. It's a big world we live in. Here's one way to hold it. Pick up a map and then simply unfold it. Dot maps, like this one, are covered with dots. Some have a few dots, but some others have lots. Each dot stands for something on this map you see. Each dot stands for one frizzle-frazzled frazzy. Most frazzies live up north with where the haircuts are free. When you look at a map, it's important to see there is more than one way from point A to point B. Firefighters use maps when they go fight a fire. The short way would take them down Vogel to Vire, but traffic on Vire can be a disaster, so they choose a long way that's also much faster. When you want to go from Fazold to Fazend, you can measure the miles, for the road does not bend. But in order to go from Fazod to Fazing on the 15th of May for the big Fazing Sing, the road twists and turns, so first cut off some string, put it down on the road all the way to Fazing. Then take out your ruler and measure the string. The scale on the map helps you see that it is far. 1 inch equals 10 miles, so you should take the car. Use the trick to read maps. You'll be glad that you did. Some are covered with lines. That is known as a grid. There are letters on top, numbers run down the side. Want to find where you are? Let the grid be your guide. Trace a line down from A, look across at line 4. The lines cross at A4 at your very own door. We are having a party. We're waiting for you. Take a look at the grid. There's our house at E2. Can you find it on the map? Here is a map that I just got today. It's a puzzle map showing the whole USA. Puzzle maps come in pieces, and here's the best part. You can put them together, then take them apart. Oh, I know a lot of my friends do this at school because we have several maps of the USA. Here is a question we can't wait to ask you. Which state's the largest? It's this one, Alaska. Now, which of these states do you think is the smallest? You're right, it's Rhode Island, the smallest of allest. Here's a game that we play, so feel free to play too. What does each of the 50 states look like to you? Michigan looks like a scarf and a mitten. Louisiana looks like a chair you could sit in. You will have great adventures your whole life, and so I give you these maps of the places you'll go. You may travel the world, but no matter how far, with a map on your lap, you will know where you are. You can always use maps. They will help you in knowing where you have been and just where you are going. Here is a glossary, and the glossary, remember, tells us some information on the definitions in the story that you may not know. So, what you're going to do now is you are going to find somebody in your house. It could be a sibling, it could be a grandparent, a friend, a parent, and you're going to tell them 3 things that you now know about maps. And then once you're done, I would like you to either go do iStation for 20 minutes, or you can find a good book on Epic or one that you have and find a good cozy spot and read for at least 20 minutes. All right, friends, I'll talk to you later.